If we were trading a few scores in correct score, we might want to put an insurance bet on 0-0 in case the game didn't have any goals in it. So I'll just show you how we can use this sheet for that. I input some odds from a game between Newcastle and Arsenal and Newcastle, and suppose we wanted to bet the scores of 1-2 and 2-1, and we would expect some goals from this game maybe. So just in case there aren't any goals, we might want to put an insurance bet on 0-0, so that if there aren't any goals, we win back these two stakes. So just to input the odds for 0-0, 1-2 and 2-1, and then we need to use this adjust feature here to reduce this stake here on 0-0, so that we get next to nothing, next to zero profit or loss just there at H4. So we'll put a minus figure in there. I've worked this out before, of course. I want a minus 15 in there, and that reduces that stake down to £2.50. And if the game ends 0-0 now, we make a profit of just 11 pence. So what is happening is we've got £2.50 times 19, which is enough to recover these two stakes here. Now if the game, once the game gets underway and some goals are scored, we can then lay these two scores by putting the odds in there, put the lay stakes into Betfair, and hopefully we'll come out with a profit there which is big enough to recover that small losing bet. Now there were two quick goals in this game, one at 14 minutes and one at 17 minutes, and the odds after the one at 17 minutes, maybe we wouldn't have time to get in at the other odds. For 1-2 were lay at 24, and for 2-1 were lay at 7-4. And now once we've laid those, put those stakes into Betfair there of 14.58 against that one, and lay 47.30 against that one. You can see whatever happens in the game, we win £11.40 whatever happens. Now don't worry about that large number there, because the game has already gone past 0-0, so that one can't happen. And what you see in your Betfair screen are those there. So you'd have a gross winnings of £12, you'd be green everywhere at £12, and after commission you win £11.40. Okay, so that's how to use the adjust feature there to reduce a bet stake. Now if our lay odds were bigger than our bet odds, we probably wouldn't want to trade out unless it was a very small loss. So we might want to carry on dutching, carry on putting some more bets on, and as long as we hit the winning score, we may do okay. So these two quick goals got the score to 1-1. So I've got a column here for goal there that says goal at the top there, so if we put a G in there, it tells us over here in this other column here the next two scores up, which is that score of 1-1 with two goals added. So it could get to 3-1, 1-3 or 2-2. So to save us racking our brains while the game's taking place in play, we can just put that in and it tell us which scores we need to bet if we're carrying on dutching. So we could put these, could add the bet scores for 1-1, which we haven't got, and then 1-3, 3-1 and 2-2, and carry on dutching. So we'll just put those in now. Right, now I've put these odds in. So the odds for 1-1 were 14. This was at just after the goal at 17 minutes. And for 1-3 there were 48, 2-2, 11 and 3-1, 6-6. So you can see we're now in profit against any of these scores, and the game actually finished with a score of 2-1, which is that one there. So we would have come out with profit. Now if another goal was scored, say the score got to 2-1, we put a G in there again. To keep two goals ahead of the game, we would need to bet any unquoted, 3-2 and 2-3. So maybe at that score, when that other goal went in, we may then bet these other scores of 2-3, 3-2 and any unquoted. Now if we carry on betting enough of these as the game goes on, we could bet into the red, of course, but in this example everything went okay and the game finished at 2-1. Okay, so that's what you can do with this sheet. You can set some bets up in correct score, place an insurance bet on 0-0, and then carry on dutching if necessary. That's if you can't trade out. And by putting a G or just anything in there really, it will show you what the next scores are if 2 more goals are scored against that on top of that current score.